thank the grace of heaven and the mercy of the predecessors, the virtues of the masters and the virtues, mercy of the predecessors, transmitters, masters, temple masters, for giving me this opportunity to talk about. Well, it's this topic. It's not a fixed topic, in the sense that, I have a fixed topic, but I mean fixed thing to say. But I just want to mention it because it's it's fluid. Okay, everything is fluid. So I just want to mention several things about Buddha nature because, the reason why Buddha nature, we call it this class called the Buddha nature class. The reason why it's important is because we tend to read. I mean, since we are learning about the Tao, right? We're studying about the Tao, and one of the constant things that we hear is that the Tao is so precious, it's so incredible, it's so amazing, marvelous, etc., etc. Okay, now there's a reason to say that. Okay, all right, but if we don't study or if we don't learn about our nature, i.e. Buddha nature, what the true nature is. Okay, what true nature is. If we don't learn about it or understand it, then it's hard, it'll be difficult to say, this Tao is so amazing, so marvelous, so precious, etc., etc. Okay? So that's why that's one thing, okay? So that's one aspect, okay? So if we don't learn, or try to be closer to our Buddha nature, then you're not going to conclude that, the Tao is amazing, it's precious, it's fantastic. You won't. You will not. I guarantee you that. Okay? So therefore, in order to be able to discover for ourselves that, this Tao is precious, it's amazing, it's marvelous, blah, 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 we have to learn about our Buddha nature. It goes hand in hand. Okay? Now, so when we study or when we read the Diamond Sutra, the Tao Te Ching. I just bring those two because those two are the most, most well-known or recognized Buddhist scripture and sutra and the Tao Sutra. Okay, so there are literally thousands of translations. If you read, I guarantee you could go on the internet. If you pick up anyone, at random, you do a Google search, right? They'll give you a whole list, right? Maybe several hundred pages of reference. You pick up any one of those. You read the translations. I guarantee you, unless we learn about the Buddha nature, okay, we're not going to appreciate the true meaning. I guarantee you, okay? Because on the surface, if you read the Diamond Sutra, on the surface, it's very simple. It's only like 30 chapters, 31, 32. I mean, we say chapters, it just means it's major sections. They don't divide in chapter because it's really a conversation between Buddha, Siddhartha, and Shibuti. Okay, so it's not, they don't divide. Say, chapter 1, I'm going to tell you about this topic. Chapter 2, I'm going to talk. No, it's conversation. It's just a recorded conversation, but they deal with many topics at a very, very, you can say, high level, but it's only at a very, very summary level. So it's like you reading a book. Read War and Peace. That's very long. Or, I don't know, Gone with the Wind, whatever. Or the Bible. Read. Okay, the whole, it's very long, right? But you just read the first paragraph. Are you going to know the rest? Of course not. If you just do the surface, if you just only reading at the surface level, you only read the first paragraph. Are you going to understand the whole text? I mean, the whole next 10,000 pages? Of course not, right? So similarly, if you read Diamond Sutra, if we read the Tao Te Ching, only at the surface level, we're not going to understand. Understand? Okay? So, unfortunately, that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Now, some people, scholars, intellectuals, researchers, at a little bit more advanced level, they would say, this is amazing because but they can't really describe it, okay? Or clearly, or really unify. Actually, the essence or the core teaching or understanding, teaching of Diamond Sutra and Tao Te Ching is the same. Actually, it is. It's the same. But that's only if we approach it from the Buddha nature perspective. Understand? On the surface meaning, there could be total opposites. They're total opposites. And even Diamond Sutra, if you read it from one chapter to another chapter to another chapter, a lot of them is contradictory. It's like, oh, on the one hand, he said this, on this. And then on the other chapter, he said something else. Same thing in Tao Te Ching. See, that's because we're only understanding at the superficial level. So it's not that, okay? So the whole idea behind learning about, helping, that we ourselves have to put in, there are two things that are must requirements. Must. You must have effort, you must put in effort, and we must put in time. If we lack one of the two, it's incomplete. All right? So we must put in the effort and the time to learn about Buddha nature. Okay? There's no shortcut. Actually, this is really the shortcut to enlightenment. But unless we're willing to invest in that time and effort, then we won't have the shortcut to enlightenment. Okay? All right? So that's why it's so important. Okay. So now I want to, because this glossary, we have a glossary list, right, on the Dropbox folder under class materials or something like that, English class materials, and it's updated periodically when I have time to. It just recently been updated, but there's because I, remember I talked about what was the last time? The last time on this topic, I talked about the four mindfulness, right? I talked about the basic level understanding, because I talked a story about, remember, the four last questions that Buddha answered to Ananda, right? What teaching or what dharma should we uphold or grab? So should we maintain? Should we keep? Should we keep mindful? Or constantly keep constant. And Buddha mentioned the four mindfulness, right? The four四念, right? 四念处, 四念观, right? And I explained it to you, the surface meaning, but then there's a higher level meaning. Okay, the higher level meaning is the Buddha nature. Okay, perspective. All right. Okay, I explained that. So it's in here now. I put it in there. But very briefly. So we can all go in there, look, download that latest file. Did I give it? Or maybe I didn't. I didn't put it in. I didn't put it. I have it, but I didn't put it in the Dropbox. But it's in there. Okay, so it's now one huge paragraph. So unfortunately, that's the way it is. All right. So that's. Just maybe since I don't think you have the file, right? I thought I said it. No.
It doesn't look. It looks like it was a while ago.
Oh, okay. So just to refresh, okay. Anybody know what the four mindfulness is? 四观念, 四观处, 四念处, 四念观, right? It's part of the Eightfold Paths, but it's the number six. No, number six. Yeah, number six. No, seven. Sorry, number seven, because they're eight, right? Eight is 正定, then 正念, and then 正清净, right? 正念 is number 7, 正清净 is number 6. I think, yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but I think, okay. So 四念处, right? Or 四念观, same thing, right? The first one is what? To be mindful. The mind is impermanent, right? 观心无常, right? The mind is impermanent, okay? The mind is impermanent. Human mind, our thoughts. What does that mean? This is superficial. This is basic level, which is that, yeah, our minds are we constantly have thoughts. Our thoughts arise and then it disappears after a certain time. Some very quickly, some for a long time, right? Some for a long time. But the point is, it has a beginning and end. That's the whole point. So therefore, our thoughts are impermanent. Now, when I say our minds, it also means our views. It could mean our views too are impermanent. It changes. When we're younger, maybe you feel, it's so great, to have, let's deal with couples. Okay, when we first meet, right? Future husbands and wives say, wow, everything's lovey-dovey, I love you, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's fine. But then after you marry, settle down, blah, 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 50 years later, well, I don't know what the percentage is. I don't want to say, I don't know that. But it used to be in America, the divorce rate was roughly 50%. Roughly, okay? This is probably 20, 30 years ago. Now it's probably a little bit less, okay? But then, by that time, you hate each other. You're at each other's throats. You hate each other. You want to split the house in two. You want to split the cat in two. You want to split the dog in two. You want to split the car in two. You want to split everything in two. You hate each other. Wow, what a change, right? 25, 30 years ago, everything's lovey-dovey, hunky-dory. Oh, I can't live without you, blah, blah, blah. I give the whole world for you, blah, blah, blah. What happened? Total opposite. Huh? That's the human mind. That's a human view. Yeah, get it? That's human, right? We change. So mind is impermanent. Understand? And that describes the human condition, right? That's absolutely true, right? It's realistic, right? I'm not saying all the case, but a lot of cases it's like that. Okay, so that's the first one, all right? So the second mindfulness is that all sensations or feelings are suffering. 观受是苦, right? Okay. Now people say, oh, how can all sensations be suffering? All feelings. I feel good, right? I'm hungry. I drink something, so I'm happy. Or I'm thirsty. I drink something, so I'm satiated. Okay. What Buddha? So that's why we have to understand what ku means. Okay. What dukkha. Okay. So that's part of the also in the Eightfold Paths, right? The 四圣谛, right? The four noble truths, right? 四圣谛, four noble truths, right? Right? What's the first truth? What did Buddha say? Life is suffering. How can people say life is suffering? Hey, I'm Donald Trump, man. Make America great, man. I'm fantastic, man. I can tweet about everybody. I can say everybody's fake news. Everybody's blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay. Well, the problem is what Buddha is saying is not that momentary. See, yeah, you may have momentary pleasure, but the key is that word, momentary. Get it? So momentary just means it doesn't last. 无常, right? Everything is not permanent, not forever. No eternal happiness, no eternal satisfaction, right? So just like look at human life. Every time we want more, always more, always more. Today I make $1 million. Next year I want to make $10 million. Then the year after that I want to make 10 times that. Never satisfied, right? Always more, right? Or less. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's both sides. It's both sides. It's both sides. And what does this mean? So the first, the 四圣谛, the first truth is that life is suffering. What Buddha is saying is that the reason why life is suffering, he said life is suffering is because, see, that suffering is a very, it's a bad word. It's a bad word. The actual Sanskrit, dukkha, means it's not, yes, suffering is one part. It's only 1/3. The other two, the first one is everything is not perfect. It's not perfect. You get it? It's not perfect. 不是圆满, okay? That's why life is suffering. Because life is not perfect. It is not perfect. All sensations are not perfect. Okay? Then the second part, the other third, is that any even pleasure or anything, any type of sensation, positive or negative or whatever, is not lasting. It's not permanent. Make sense? And also, we actually feel pain. We do feel hunger. We do feel desires. We do feel, rage. We do feel, all that, right? So those three is what he called dukkha. Make sense? So then, if you understand that definition, then all sensations are dukkha, right? Right? Because it's not permanent, and it's changing, right? So therefore, it's all sensations are dukkha. Make sense, right? Okay, all right. So yeah.
From Buddha point of view, they saw we are still under reincarnation. Means we will not avoid this karma issue. So that's why they saw this like suffering. That's how they look.
Yeah.
Different
That's
angle
yeah.
from the
Yeah.
Buddha point of view.
Yeah.
Human beings say, we got food to eat, we got money to spend, we got good life. That's we see the look short term, but we still under reincarnation.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's why life is not permanent, right? Right. We're born one day, and then eventually we're gonna die one day, right? So that's why it's not perfect. It's suffering. Buddha calls suffering, right? Suffering because it's not perfect. It's not eternal, right? Okay. So our existence is not eternal. Okay. All right. Our sensations is not perfect. Okay, all right. So that's the second one, right? Okay, this is all surface meaning. Okay, we'll go to the deeper meaning. I refresh this. Okay, the third one. What's the third one? 观法无我, right? That means all things. 事, 万事. You can say 万事 or all things. Yeah, all phenomena. All phenomena is what? Has without self nature. Anatta. Means no. Not an. An means no. Atta means as an essence. As essence. It can mean ego too. It can mean I, ego, war. Okay. It just means that all phenomena. Okay, that's include the sun. Okay, the earth. Our mind, human mind. Yeah, humans. No. Humans are different. Okay, even thoughts. Okay, all right. Sensations. Okay, everything. All phenomena are what? Without self-nature. No essence. And what does that mean? Because from the Buddha says, essence is something that's eternal. 本体, okay, always is, always exists, always is, okay. So how can you say, well, how come? Well, we obviously we know all physical phenomena does not always exist, right? The sun was 14.5 billion years ago was created, right? So before 15 billion years ago, it didn't exist, right? Okay, the earth, I don't know, 13 billion years ago, 15 billion didn't exist, right? So it doesn't have an essence. Now, human body, same thing, right? Mind, same thing, right? Remember I say, hey, 20 years ago, everything's lovey-dovey. 20 years later in the future, you hate each other's guts, okay? So that's even our thoughts come and go. So that has no essence. But there's one thing that has, okay. The reason why all phenomena, thoughts, objects, the galaxy, the cosmos, everything has no essence. But they exist. But they do exist. So that's why we say phenomena. But they exist because they are conditioned. So that's called dependent origination, right? 因果. There's the reason why the sun exists is because there's gravity. Yeah. There's gravity. There's what do you call that? Gases, atoms. Combine, right? Gravity forces it, and then they compress, blah, blah, blah. We humans are, because mom and dad gave us, birth, okay? So that's why all phenomena, it has no essence, but they do exist due to conditions. Make sense? Cause. And an effect. You can say cause and effect. It's called condition. So 有条件, okay? Condition, so it's called dependent origination. Everything else exists dependent on that. Whereas the 本体, the essence, does not depend on anything. It always is. It's like saying God. God doesn't exist due to something. Right. God is independent of all causes. Make sense? So all phenomena, body, thoughts, mind, theories, thinkings, I don't know, it's all dependent on something, on some kind of causes. Okay? And result. And due to circumstance, it could be primary, secondary, but that's karma. That's law of causality. That's a separate topic. Or the 12, the 12 steps, the 12 lindanas, which is the 12, what do you call that? 12 steps?
It's dependent origination.
Phases, 12 steps of causality. That's what Buddha called it, okay? That's in his second sermon, okay? But anyway, okay? So all phenomena is not, from Buddha's perspective, contains no essence. Get it? No essence. So therefore, that's called 空, illusion. So that's why Buddha calls it illusion. Get it? So it may be real, yes, real, but it's only momentarily. It's only because these conditions exist to make it real. Get it? Okay? But if those conditions don't exist, then it's gone. It's gone, right? It's gone. So that's why it's empty, has no essence. So therefore, Buddha's view is they're not real. They're 虚空, 虚幻, or 幻虚, I don't know, whatever. It's illusion. It's an illusion. Make sense? So that's why Buddha and the third 观念 or third 念处, 念观 is saying that we have to understand, we have to realize that all phenomena, including our physical body, including our mind, our conscious, we call it our consciousness, right? our human thoughts, awareness, whatever, okay, is not real. Okay, it's not real. It's because they only exist due to certain conditions. They're not independent of those conditions. They exist because of those conditions. Okay, so that's very important. All right, so because they contain no essence. Another way of saying they contain no essence. Okay, all right, okay. Then the fourth one is 观身不净, right? 不净, 清净的净, right? That means you can say pure, yeah, pure, clean. It literally means clean, but it means pure, yeah. So our body, yeah, 干净的净, 对, 干净的净, yeah, yeah, 不是清净的净, yeah, 干净的净, yeah. It means not clean. literally, it means that. Literally, that the body's not clean. Yeah, it just means it's not pure. That means because because our bodies are subject to what? Defilement. Okay, get it? Right? People say, oh, I don't have to take a shower. I don't have to take a shower forever. I don't think so. Eventually, you're going to smell, right? So we have to clean. I don't have to brush my teeth. Oh, eventually it's going to rot. And that's why, okay? So we have to clean. So it attracts dirt, okay? Because we are in this physical phenomena, okay? It's not, so therefore we say it's not pure, right? So therefore it's not pure, okay? All right? So that's, because all physical things, therefore, are not pure. You can use that logic to push, okay? So yeah, it says body. That's true. It talks about physical body. Yeah, that's true. That's what that fourth means. It's just I want to remind us that Buddha is trying to remind his disciples that don't regard your body as pure. I'm physical body. He's talking about physical body. Okay, physical body. That it is subject to yin and yang, right? To the defilements, to the negative path. Okay, so that's why we get sick. That's why we could get sick. That's why we can have upset stomach. That's why we have skin disease, whatever. Our hair fall out, I don't know, whatever. Okay, so that's why. Okay, so that's the superficial meaning. Okay, and it's pretty broad, pretty. Okay, so then the more advanced, that's why we have to learn about Buddha nature. Is that yes, on the surface level, Buddha was talking about that, which is pretty similar to what I just explained. Okay, earlier. All right. He was reminding his disciples that, yeah, this is part of the Eightfold Paths. We have to have this understanding, mindfulness. We have to have this, we have to keep reminding ourselves that, these are the four conditions, you can say, or four aspects, okay? Right? That, our minds is not permanent, right? That our sensations, feelings are really suffering, right? Dukkha, right? Or, you can say it's imperfect, right? And that all phenomena is not real, right? It has no self. It's, in a sense, illusions, right? Okay, because they depend on certain causes in order to exist, okay? And that our physical bodies are subject to defilement, right? Even our minds too, okay, subject to that, because we could have impure thoughts, right, or bad thoughts, okay, all right. So the human mind, okay. So that's superficial meaning, okay. So that's the first step in cultivation. Really, we have to understand that and be mindful of that. So when we are learning, studying, speaking, practicing, and propagating the Tao, we have to be mindful of those things, okay? Because this is like a guide, right? The Eightfold Paths is like a guide, right? To help us to go on the right path, on the path towards enlightenment, right? That's the whole purpose of Eightfold Path, okay? All right, okay. But then at a higher level, okay. Let's talk about. Let's see. What did I say here? Okay, yeah. The first one. 观心无常, right? I say regarding our mind is not permanent, right? Or it's impermanent, right? Okay. So the higher level meaning is what? The mind of no mind. 观心无心的心，无心的心，无心的心，就是即心即福 similar to that. Okay? 即心即福. I said 即心即福, right? That's a separate entry. It's in here too. 即心即福 is in here too. Okay. So it just means that our human mind, right? We're talking about human mind, human views, okay, is all false too, and that there's only one, you can say, absolute view or one true mind, and that's the what? The Buddha nature, the mind of the. So we call it the Buddha mind, 福心. Okay, we call it the Buddha mind. I mean, what? Or Bodhi mind. You can say 菩提心, Bodhi mind. You can say. I mean, Bodhi mind is not. It's a little bit below it because the Bodhi mind has many steps. 福心 is just 福心. It's absolute. It never changes. It's always okay. But Bodhi mind, you can say. It's Bodhisattva mind. You can say that. Okay, it's one step at a time. Okay, but that's good. And so what is that? What is the mind of no mind? What is that? Does that mean that I can have no thoughts? No. Doesn't mean that. You will have thoughts because of that. The thoughts come because of that. See, so it's not easy to understand. So that's why Buddha nature class, and that's why I want to talk about that too. But that the Dao De Jing, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 line. 5 and 6.
The 无心 that means that's what I think, okay? Because when the ordinary people when they meditate, right?
Oh yeah.
Why
Yeah.
they only good
Yeah.
for the body.
Yeah.
But no good for because they are one kong,
Mhm.
stubborn, empty,
Yeah.
right?
Vacuum. Yeah.
Understanding because they only emphasize no thought.
Right.
They forgot about that. There's one thought. Always.
Well, yeah.
That thought is no thought. That thought is our Buddha nature.
Yeah. It's
So
yeah.
So the way
the
they
essence.
meditate, it's very easy to
Go to that
um,
完空的方向.
and
Yeah.
sometimes the devil evil will come to them. Okay, will channel into their body. It's very dangerous because they don't know how to look for the nature.
Yeah.
So Wuxi means the last thought. It does not mean that we keep thinking. The last thought is like
It's really like an awareness. Awareness. No,
打瞌睡，打
yeah.
瞌睡，it's like a
When you're falling asleep.
Dozing off.
Yeah, dozing off. Yeah. No. Yeah. That's why it's hard to describe. It's really non-conscious. You can say it's a non-conscious thought, but then isn't thought by itself conscious? No. See, so that's why it's really that final. You can say final thought is that awareness, 觉, okay, 是究竟觉, okay. See, the problem is when people meditate, right? When we the classical, and this is the Hindu style. That's why they call it 禅定. The Hindu 禅定 is different, okay? 有讲是有讲禅定. They could go, they have to meditate, right? Say, get rid of all thoughts, right? Dot, keep getting rid of thought. And so the problem is when they think that way, okay? When they try to use that approach, they even get rid of the notion of awareness. You get it? So then that 就变成完空. It becomes a vacuum. And when you reach that state, it's very dangerous because then that means there's nothing exists. It becomes very 偏见. It becomes extreme. It becomes 一个偏见变成或断见 or whatever, becomes like nothing exists. And when that happens, but spirits exist. And so possible spirits could come in. Because you say I have nothing. You say I have nothing. So you're empty. 空, no, not even awareness. Not even 觉, you don't even recognize. 你不承认, you don't recognize, or you don't recognize that you even have an awareness. That's dangerous. Because then something could come in. Because you're empty. You say, hey, I can come in.
because the person's mind is not right, not the same as the heaven's way. That's why it's very easy that something's not right.
Yeah, you attract.
Yeah, and although when we say let all the thinking, keep thinking, then that's wrong too, because that is our sixth sense. Why we keep thinking? We have a lot of thought there.
No, there's something behind it. When we
And
say
the problem is
Indian
that we
person, it
want
means
to
all your
use
conscious
our
thoughts.
nature.
It's not that
That
you
thought-
get
that
rid of your
thought
awareness.
does
Your
not
awareness
go
is there.
to the left
It's what
side,
creates
right
that.
side, or do something good,
So you can say
something bad. No.
the awareness is the source of all
Okay?
thoughts.
So even with
So
that
when we say
thought,
Indian
thought
person,
keep
does not mean that you
running,
cannot
that's
have any
bad
thoughts.
too. That's-
You just have to know that you
that's
have that
not
awareness,
master
and all these
without
thoughts are
knowledge.
due to the awareness, so they're not real.
はい
Uh-huh.
Or
Yeah.
I try to explain that no, we keep let the thinking is wrong. That's not right.
Yeah, yeah,
This is
yeah,
sense,
yeah.
okay?
No, because no,
不是佛性放当家
no,
okay?
yeah. No. The key is this: we keep thinking that our thoughts are real, okay, and that's wrong. There's something behind that allows us to have the thoughts, okay. So we should not see the thoughts as real. You get it? Okay. So when we say, let go of all thoughts, right? That's the general term, right? 一念不生嘛, right? It doesn't mean that. Yes, it means that we should understand that these thoughts come and go, and they're not real. So don't think that, we have a conscious mind. That's the real thing, right? Because conscious mind is come and go. When we're sleeping, we're not conscious, right? So therefore, it's not real, right? When you're sleeping, you're not conscious. I could hit you and you probably unaware. Yeah, some people are like that. Like a log. They sleep like a log, right? Okay? Then they wake up and say, something hit me, right? Or something, I have a big bug bite or something like that, mosquito bite. Oh, now I feel itchy. But when you're sleeping and the mosquito was hitting you, you didn't feel a thing, right? So where's your conscious mind? Then not there. So that's false. So conscious mind. So the key is you have to understand that these things, conscious, subconscious, doesn't matter, okay, are all not real. Yeah.
So I don't know. I've been practicing not to put any thoughts when I'm driving. The scary part is I don't remember driving from point A to point B.
yeah.
That's scary,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
moving more.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
like we're
Yeah.
like,
No.
how did I get here?
That's true, because there are times too when I'm doing things and I try not to try to practice not to have it, and then I just like, what did I do to come to here, to do this? So I can't even remember the step, but you can recall, just that it's really stored in your eighth consciousness. Alaya, is it alaya? Eighth is alaya. It's really hidden in there.
Yes.
Alaya, yeah, alaya consciousness. That goes more deep. It's really stored in there. Okay.
So I'm not like falling asleep.
No, it's not like you're clueless. Okay, it's not like you're clueless. Actually, it's in the eighth consciousness, because eighth consciousness, some people say it's a deep subconsciousness, right? That's why hypnotists can say, remember, right? Settle your mind, calm, and then they can bring back, say, remember, try to remember what you were doing, way back, and that's to call up the alaya consciousness. So it's stored in there. It's just that because we have so many active conscious thoughts that it covers it up. You get it? Or interferes with it. You see, that's the technique. You get it? That's why, yeah.
I think the practice is supposed to be that you focus on driving. It's not you
Yeah. That's true. That's, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not, yeah, right. It's, right. It's not distracted. Right. Yeah. No. Yeah.
You just practice driving.
Right. Just
From point A to point B.
precisely.
You need to know where you're going.
Precisely.
And you need to focus on that point.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's true. That's right.
No other thought.
Yeah. Focus. You can say focus.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
No, but
Our
you don't have to analyze. Yeah.
You don't, like it's blank at the end. I think that's wrong. I don't think it's
No.
supposed to be like that.
I agree.
It's supposed to be like that.
No, you have to be aware. You have to be aware.
Yeah.
No. Actually, well, yeah. These are different types. Actually, the simple way to explain it, one way to explain it is that you are always aware. See, so Edison, so it's not that, we're not aware. You're always aware. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's not empty. Get it? It's always aware.
我也不对 because think about it. 严夫子 okay, he did a organ 圆通人 use his ear to find his Buddha nature. So he asked Confucius says, after I looked for my Buddha nature, and then I told him that's no 严夫子存在 right? It's not exist. I don't even know who I am. And my body is gone. That's the state is the right one. So Confucius said you are doing things right. It is not awareness. It's awareness, also not awareness like the daily life.
Yeah, that's
Awareness is different.
no. That's why I say it's absolute awareness. 究竟. That's why you have to qualify, because the problem with our words is that it's very how can I say? It's very limited, and always words have a tendency to have opposites, and that's the problem. So when I say aware, people say, oh, unaware, okay, opposite. So therefore, that's not the real awareness. That technically that's true. But that's why Buddha said, when we say, that's why in the Diamond Sutra, he always say, Shibuti, I told you this, but it's also not that. So, because he just wants to let us know that our words are how can I say, it's not perfect. Our words are not perfect. Right, so don't focus on that word. I mean, don't just grasp that word and say, oh, and say, that's it. That's what Buddha is saying. It's not that. It's not that. Okay, it's neither that. These are just labels. So that's why we have to qualify by saying what awareness. It's really absolute awareness. 究竟觉. That's absolute aware. That's your Buddha nature. That's it. That's your Buddha nature. Okay? It's not conscious awareness. That's what I'm not. I'm not saying it's conscious. Yeah, I'm conscious. I'm focusing on driving. That's not it. That's just your conscious mind. That means you're very focused. That's it. It's not that. It's when you're absolute awareness, you know everything. Okay, but nothing can deter, influence you, distract you. You can say distract you. That's that Buddha nature awareness. Okay. So it's not easy. Okay, so it's not easy. So really, our words are not adequate. I agree. It's not adequate to describe. Okay, but we have to try it somehow. We have to, because we have to use words, unfortunately. Okay, ultimately, yes, at the highest level, you don't need to talk about it because it's there. You're there, and everybody is. You can say then it's heart to heart, mind to mind. Then that's the highest level. That's why Buddhists don't need to talk to each other. They don't. They're at one. You can say at one with each other. Okay. All right, but that's the highest level. Okay, so then let's go to the second one. What's that? 观受是苦, right? What does that mean? 观受是苦. At higher level, okay, yes, we say, oh yeah, there's suffering, not perfect, just not satisfying, right? Not satisfying. That's the definition. One of the definition of dukkha. Everything's not satisfying. Okay, not perfect, not satisfying, not lasting, etc. Okay, so what the higher level meaning, it just means that 受不在内外 okay 不住中间无受虚 okay, that's the higher level. Okay, what does that mean? It just means that one way to explain is that there's no extremes. There's no either all pleasure, all pain. There's none. None of that. That's all false. That's all false. Because that's extreme. That's extreme. Our Buddha nature is not have those. It's not extreme, one or the other. Okay? So actually it's neither. Even neither is not perfect. Okay? Because some people say both. It just means you can say 中庸. You can say 中庸. That's a middle way, middle path. You can explain it that way too. Okay? That we don't. It's that's why when Buddha, it's not that okay. So when Buddha sees suffering, okay, he sees suffering, right? He sees people suffer, right? So then for most normal people, when we see suffering, we have what? Pity, right? Or when we see things that are not right, that's unjust, we feel anger. We feel, hey, that's wrong, right? That's wrong. So not that. So what Buddha is saying is that it's not that, we as sentient beings can't have those feelings. We will, naturally. But at the highest level, because you have to understand the way things exist, because they have conditions, there's causality behind it. So they will exist. So it doesn't make sense. It's not, it's not correct, quote unquote correct, to say, then that's good, or that's pitiful, or that's bad. You get it? Because they exist, because that's that's how it should be because of those conditions. Make sense? So you should not have any like a prejudiced mind or any like biases. That's what I'm saying. Any biases, right, towards those phenomena. Make sense? Okay, so that's why it's 中. You're centered. We say centered. Probably a better word. 中庸. We're centered. We're centered what? From our Buddha nature. From our Buddha. So therefore, we don't have any bias. Say, oh, that's good, or oh, that's bad, or you get it? So that's why it's centered. Okay, so that's why there's neither suffering or pleasure. You understand? Okay, because when we have suffering and pleasure, then what happens? We are in yin and yang. You get it? When our mind then it's in yin and yang, and then that's what will create more karma. Understand? Okay. So that's very important. All right.
So, for example, when people insult us, right? Okay, Buddha will think about because
Consequence.
everybody's Buddha nature is the same and the same one because God is from God, right? So the way Buddha thinks is, there's nobody insult me, and I did not get insulted.
Right. Yeah. There's neither. Yeah. There's.
Okay, so they don't feel they will receive something, they accept something.
No. There's no such thing.
No.
取舍. Right. That's right. Yeah. There's no notion of receiving and giving. You get it? There's none. So 取舍 is in here too. Okay. It's in the list. Okay. 取跟舍. 取舍. Yeah. 取. 取 means to grasp, to get.
Also, lecturer says when we find our Buddha nature, we go beyond the cause effect. I was thinking about this for a long time, right? And then finally I understand, I realized because when we find our Buddha nature, it's really go beyond the physical
No,
body.
because
and then we don't feel the pain,
Yeah.
right? So it's go beyond,
No,
we can go beyond the cause and effect.
Yeah.
That does not affect that person.
No. But there is still cause and effect.
Yeah.
Cause and effect still exist. But the key is if we are centered, if we say centered, that means you could say okay, 常住真心. Okay, that means we are centered. 中庸. That's really what 中庸means. The Doctrine of the Ming, that's the 4 books. Okay, 中庸 means that we are centered within our Buddha nature. That means everything is viewed or thought or spoken or done through our Buddha nature. Then you will not create karma. That's what it means that then you are beyond causality, 因果. You get it? So that's why Buddhas do not create, by definition, do not create karma. You get it? So 不作业嘛, 不造业, right? Because humans, we don't use our Buddha nature. We're not relying on it. We rely on what? Human mind. Oh, this feels good. Oh, you insult me, right? Oh, I have to give you this, or I have to take this, right? Give and take, right? 取跟舍, right? Give and take. Then isn't that dialectic? That's 相对嘛. And when you have dialectic, you create karma. That's how causality works. Causality is based on that. Understand? Make sense? So if we're in absolute state, that's what I mean by absolute awareness, 究竟觉, okay? Or you can say, we say centered. I mean, in Confucius, they would say centered on our Buddha nature. We are beyond yin and yang. Get it? So if you're in that state, you cannot create causality. Make sense? There's no take and accept or give and take. Make sense? It's because we have this idea of me and you. That's what the 4, 四相. It's very important too. Diamond Sutra mentioned it like 19 times, okay? 四相, the 4 marks, we call the 4 marks, 我相, 人相, 众生相, 受主相, 受者相, 受者, yeah. Because we differentiate. We say, oh, there's me, there's you. That's duality. That's 能所, subject object, right? I do, you take, or I give, you take, or whatever, or something. Okay, it's all that, right? So that's how we create karma. Very simple. Because law of causality works because there is duality. Period. If there's no duality, there's no law. Because there's no cause and effect. Isn't cause and effect duality? Make sense? Okay, so that's why we have to be centered. So that's what the second, the higher meaning, okay? 观受是苦 very high level, okay? That's what it means, okay? Third one, because I don't have time, okay? Then 观法无我, right? 观法无我, right? 观法无我, yes. All phenomena is illusion because they don't have essence and they're caused. They're dependent on causes, okay? Okay. The higher level is to say 无法可得. That's what I'm saying, right? Buddha said to Shibuti, oh, I'm teaching you Anuttara Samsagbodhi. Right? Or 告诉你, I'm telling you that my teaching is called 无上正等正觉. That means it's the highest teaching. Whatever. Okay, supreme enlightenment teaching. But then, and then later on, he says, oh, Shibuti, I'm not really teaching you 无上正等正觉. I'm not really teaching you that. So when you read it, you say, oh, it's confusing. It's contradiction, right? It's contradiction. Right? It's contradiction. Buddha on the one hand says, I'm teaching you that. And then later on he says, I'm not teaching you that. What does that mean? Right? Because once again, remember, these are labels, right? So we cannot grasp, 执着, we cannot become attached, right? To say, oh, it's Anuttara, 无上正等正觉. It's the true teaching. Because now, what? You have what? 能所. We have what? 能所. We have duality. Make sense? So the actual supreme enlightenment dharma is non-dualistic. Make sense? Right? So that's why 无法可得, and that's from Diamond Sutra. Okay, that's a reference in Diamond Sutra. Okay? All right, that's a higher level. And then the last one is what? What? Right? What's the last one? It's 观身不净, right? Yeah. That the body is impure, okay, or not pure, okay? It just means that everything, all forms, all phenomena is empty. It's empty. It's not lasting. It's not real. You can say it's not real. It's empty. Or it's really, it summarizes that. You can use the Heart Sutra to summarize the last mindfulness. Its form is void, right? Or 所摄疑是空, right? Yeah. That's Heart Sutra, isn't that Heart Sutra? So it basically just means that, okay? All forms are empty, okay? But also form is that also void is also form because everything comes from that void, that nothingness, that apparent nothingness, okay? So that's what the higher level of that means, okay? Now I want to get to that, and that's similar to that, line number 5 and 6. Constantly with desire, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Thus, constantly without desire, one observes its essence. Constantly with desire, one observes its manifesting. Get it? See? So even the Tao Te Ching is talking the same thing about, Lao Tzu is talking the same thing about what Buddha is saying. That form, that without desire. So that means, remember I say centered, if from Buddha nature, right? If everything is from a Buddha nature, we see its essence. We observe its essence. Get it? Or its essence manifests. Whatever. It's apparent. Right? Without desire. That's without thoughts. That's right. Without that dualistic mindset, what's left? It's the essence. Get it? It's the essence. It's that, you can say absolute awareness. Whatever. Okay? Absolute. That's that line. That's that line 5. That's what it means. What's line 6? Constant with desire. So if we use our constant mind, our conscious mind, then we see what? Just the forms. Get it? So isn't Lao Tzu saying the same thing as what Buddha is saying? See, we're all saying the same thing, right? So that's why we have to learn about Buddha nature to reach to understand at a higher level. Oh, not the higher level. Yeah, you say higher level, but at its core, the core teaching, the core essence, the core message, if you want to call. Okay? So it makes sense, right? So now you see the two connections that, what the Buddha is saying is the same thing as what Lao Tzu was saying, just in different ways. Right? Makes sense? So that's the more advanced level. So that's why by learning the Buddha nature class, understanding at the higher, everything will come together. Actually, everything is oneness. The next two is important too. these two things merge together, but different names. You get it? It's oneness. It's that oneness. You get it? But it has different names, right? It has different names. So what's that oneness? It's what? 理跟功用, right? Principle and application. Essence, wisdom, etc., etc. Make sense? 本体或者智慧 or whatever, okay? Make sense? So it's those two that merge together. You get it? It's that oneness. But they have many names. Make sense? Right? So the unity, the oneness, is to be the mystery. It's the mystery of mysteries. It's that Buddha nature. You can say it's that indescribable Buddha nature. Make sense? See, so actually, Lao Tzu and Buddha are saying the same thing. It's just that superficially, we tend to differentiate and say, oh, these are different. Because we're only looking at the surface, right? Okay, all right. I'm sorry, I know I went to detail because we have to understand this, okay? And so, all right, I know there are a lot of things I probably didn't say correctly. I ask for the Buddha's forgiveness. Okay, thank you very much.